back to another episode of Keep It Real Boxing. This is Cypher Boxing. What I want to talk about on this video is Teddy Atlas, commentator, boxing analyst, expert for ESPN Sports. Now, what I want to talk about is Teddy Atlas's comments last night. From what I hear, Teddy Atlas told Andre Ward and Terence Crawford that he believed Lomachenko was still pound for pound number one over these two individuals. Also, from what I heard, he told Andre Ward that he needs to look out because Terence Crawford was right on his tail, which is fair enough. But what I really want to talk about is his pound for pound list. So I suppose let's start there. As you can see on the screen, Teddy Atlas's pound for pound, top 5 pound for pound list. You've got Lomachenko, 9 wins, 1 loss, 7 KOs. Andre Ward, 32 wins, no losses, 16 KOs. Terence Crawford, 32, no losses, and 23 KOs. Keith Thurman, 28 wins, no losses, 22 KOs. And ERROL SPENCE with 22 wins, no losses, and 19 KOs. I don't know what to say about Teddy Atlas at the moment. There used to be 3 voices in boxing that I would really pay attention to and listen to, and those are Roy Jones Jr. from HBO, because Roy Jones, as you know, Roy Jones Jr. is the only member of the HBO team who knows what he's talking about and gives his honest opinion. Yeah, he doesn't play all those sort of games that Jim Lampley or Larry Merchant in the past, or even Max Kellerman currently play. You know, where they try and con and manipulate the public into believing what their hidden agendas are. The other one is Paulie Malignaggi of Showtime Boxing and Sky Sports Boxing as well. And the other one was Teddy Atlas. You know, he was someone I actually took really seriously up until the whole Jeff Horn Manny Pacquiao fight, where Jeff Horn beat Manny Pacquiao. Now I believe Jeff Horn won that fight. I don't really care what anyone else believes. If you saw Pacquiao winning that fight, you need to go away and learn how to score a round of boxing, in my opinion. It's the way he went on about it though. Okay? Even if it was a bad decision, which I don't believe it was, it's like he was on a campaign to convince the public, the boxing public, that he was right and anyone else was wrong. He got a bit of stick for this, of course. I think Al Bernstein gave him a bit of stick for the way he was behaving. He didn't appreciate it. I think a lot of people felt it was very unprofessional of him. And I have to agree. Now we've had Terence Crawford become the undisputed champion of the world at 140 pounds. And he is still adamant Lomachenko is number 1 pound for pound. I mean, look at the list. Lomachenko is a WBO champion. He's had 10 fights in total, he's had 1 loss. He hasn't really fought any big names yet, not at all. Yeah? So far as I'm concerned, he doesn't even belong in that top 5 pound for pound list. He is not number 1, he's not top 5 pound for pound, no way. I'm not going to give him that. Really good fighter. I think down the line, in the future, in his career, he potentially could be one of those top 5 pound for pound, or even the top pound for pound. He's got ability, he's got great skill sets, I'm not knocking him for that. But he hasn't achieved or done anything in the sport that warrants him having that throne as pound for pound king. Look at Andre Ward. Andre Ward, now I know a lot of people slate Andre Ward, but Andre Ward was a unified champion at 168 pounds. That's super middleweight for those who don't know. You know, he won the Super 6, he beat all the top contenders in that division. Okay, a lot of people are going to say, oh yeah, but he was inactive for years, right? But there was a reason for his inactivity. Yeah, he was inactive for a year or 2, etc. Because he had 1, management issues, and 2, he had a shoulder injury as well. So he had to let that heal up properly before he could come back to boxing. You know, he didn't even know if he was going to come back to boxing. And when he did come back, He jumped up in weight to light heavyweight. All right, had a few. Obviously, the smart thing to do was obviously kind of gradually work your way into the weight. You know, get comfortable with the weight, and he did that. And as soon as he was ready, 2 or 3 fights later, he's fighting the best light heavyweight in the division in Sergey Kovalev. Yeah, beats him once in a close fight, and he did beat him in my opinion. Sorry, it was a close fight. You know, a lot of people say, oh no, you know, it was a robbery. No, it's not robbery. Yeah, it was a close fight that could have gone either way. If someone who scored it to Kovalev turned around and said to me, oh, I saw it 114, 113, for example, to Kovalev, I could probably accept that and basically say to that person, all right, I can see how you can see it that way because it was a close fight, so I can accept that. But when people are saying, no, it was a robbery, it was a clear robbery, he won by miles, and etc, etc, no. All right. The second fight, Andre Ward left no doubt, got the stoppage, and he's now carrying all the belts at light heavyweight, bar one, which is the WBC belt, which is held by Adonis Stevenson. So, how the hell is he behind Lomachenko? He's done so much in the sport of boxing. How is he behind Lomachenko? Terence Crawford speaks for itself. Look at his achievement last night. His record speaks for itself. He's the undisputed champion at 140 pounds. He's the first boxer to do that, was it in 12 years? That speaks for itself as well, compared to Lomachenko's so-called. What achievements does Lomachenko have? He doesn't compare to those two, in my opinion. Even Keith Thurman, you know, he's got 2 belts, the WBA, WBC. You know, he's been fighting for longer. His record speaks volumes compared to Lomachenko's. And even in Spence, you know, although I don't know if I put Errol Spence in my top 5 pound for pound. I'm not gonna sit here saying, yeah, I agree with Teddy on that he's top 5 pound for pound. But I'm not someone who usually spends a lot of time thinking about pound for pound, and the reason I don't like this whole pound for pound, especially in this generation of boxing, it's used as a marketing tool by promoters and broadcasters to sell their fight and con the public into believing that this guy is great and he's the best in the business. You know, everyone, that pound for pound term is thrown around so loosely around in the sport of boxing. It's unbelievable, you know, and it's all to sell their fighters. You know, that pound for pound list, you know, is a marketing tool. You know, even I remember Eddie Hearn even said it about, I think, Kell Brook once, saying pound for pound, one of the best fighters. Really? You know, so I don't really spend a lot of time thinking about it, but if I was to pick a pound for pound list, it would not have Lomachenko at the top of it. It would not have him in the top 5 ahead of Andre Ward or Terence Crawford. In my opinion, Andre Ward and Terence Crawford, number 1, number 2. End of. And I'm starting to kind of wonder what's going on with Teddy Atlas, because this is happening back to back now, you know. And I'm getting a feeling that we're going to see the same story that we've seen with HBO when it comes to Jim Lampley and his partner in crime, who's now retired, Larry Merchant. That we're going to get this trend with Teddy Atlas, is that he's going to be selling ESPN's and Bob Arum and Top Rank's hidden agendas. You know, I reckon someone's pulled him aside in the room, you know, because it's been a long time since ESPN has had this level of boxing on their network, broadcasting it, and they want to keep hold of it, and they want to keep Bob Arum happy, they want to keep Top Rank happy, because they want to keep having these big fights on their network. So someone's definitely pulled Teddy Atlas aside, in my opinion, saying, hey, we need to sell these agendas to the public. We need to keep selling Lomachenko as number 1 pound for pound. That's what Bob wants, you know. And you lot might say, oh, you're a bit far-fetched. I'm not, because it's happened with HBO, and as far as I'm concerned, I can see it happening now again with ESPN. I'm sorry, but I don't agree. I've spoken about what these guys have accomplished in the sport of boxing, and how can you sit there saying Lomachenko is better than any of those guys? You know, I don't believe Errol Spence belongs there, personally. I think Errol Spence is a very good boxer, But, you know, and he's beat Kell Brooks, a well done. He's picked up the world title. Now he needs to start taking on Thurman. He needs to take on Danny Garcia. He needs to take on the big names, other big names at welterweight. Then, like, kind of like how Terence Crawford has done, and then we can start talking about Errol Spence, whether he's a pound for pound top 5 or not. But definitely, I'm not going to sit here. I've said this before in my fight, in my video against with Rigondeaux and Lomachenko. That Lomachenko is not pound for pound number 1. I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy this nonsense. You know, and anyone out there who's going to believe that, yeah, I get it. There's going to be some Lomachenko fans out there, you know, these die-hard crazy fans who don't really know a lot about boxing. And when I mean die-hard crazy fans, I mean die-hard Lomachenko fans, not boxing die-hard fans. Yeah, who are just going to soak all this up and say, see, look, Teddy Atlas said it. Well, just because Teddy Atlas says it doesn't make it so. And it doesn't. You know? There's a hidden agenda here, once again, and I think it's wrong that Andre Ward and Terence Crawford aren't getting the credit, the credit they deserve for what they've achieved in their careers. Sorry, but as far as I'm concerned, Andre Ward is number 1, pound for pound. Terence Crawford, not far behind him. Potentially, if you turn around and said to me, I think Terence Crawford is number 1 and Andre Ward's number 2, I could accept that. I could accept that because of what he's accomplished at 140 pounds. But I'm not having Lomachenko up there. I'm sorry. I don't agree. I totally disagree with this. Totally disagree with what Teddy Atlas is doing. You know, slowly, Teddy Atlas is losing. I'm losing respect for Teddy Atlas. I'm sorry to say. You know, for me, he's not a credible voice in boxing anymore. I would rather listen to Roy Jones Jr. or Paulie Malignaggi, but from now on, I'm not taking Teddy Atlas serious anymore. I seriously am not, because that is ridiculous. There's clearly hidden agendas there, and I'm not prepared to accept it. What you guys out there think is up to you, but as far as I'm concerned, if you think Lomachenko is number 1 pound for pound after everything I've just said, yeah, then you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know boxing. Period. I'm sorry. You know, Lomachenko is not number 1 pound for pound. No way. Not over Andre Ward, not over Terence Crawford. Hell no. Not even over Keith Thurman. Sorry. Not even going to give him that. Anyway, that's my take on this whole Teddy Atlas's top pound for pound list. There's my rant over, I suppose, for today. Just wanted to get that out there. Like, as I always said before, guys, in the past, you know, if you like what you're hearing, press that like button. Yeah? Share it with your friends. And also subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit that notification bell icon button so you can get notified on when I upload my latest videos. Alright? And also check out my social media links, my other YouTube channels. All the links are provided in the video, in each of my videos. So go and check those out. Alright guys, this is Cypherbox reminding you to keep it real.